to action tonight as the Astros take on the Angels.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad?
Can't stop me now. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Of course, follow the station. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. We are at SA Sports Star. Yeah, we're on Threads now, baby.
Rob has Threads.
I do. I'm threaded.
I know. You're wearing, what do they call that, a YU Barra?
Yeah, but I'm on Threads. The happy-go-lucky Threads.
See?
It is a nice place.
It is a friend guy on radio today.
No doubt.
No, it's you.
Rudy
He's
J,
talking about
my
you.
man,
He's talking about you.
You went with the costume change. That's what I'm talking about.
Is the boss leaving already? Is Lance leaving already? What the heck is going on?
We are here celebrating Rudy J's birthday.
Yes, sir.
We are at Slackers out at Nacogdoches, the Slackadocious location, as Rob so eloquently dubbed it.
Oh,
My
Rob
God.
made that up. What's up, man?
Oh, yeah, of course. Rob's the king of catchphrases,
Yes, he
man.
is. Yes, he is.
Slackadoches, scenic views.
So we're sitting.
And I'm sure
You'll thank me later.
Well, it is you walk through like a balloon entrance. We got fedoras for, like, is that for honored guests?
It's for Havana Nights, Rob.
And then
You need one.
Are there cigars in those boxes?
No.
This is this is the nicest this place has looked since last year.
Yeah.
And I have been here for over a decade. I have never seen Lance in an event.
Yeah. The man, it's summer.
He's never been invited.
A celebratory evening. Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar in Nacogdoches, Parent Bottle. You know where we are. Come up and join us. We're going to be here all evening long. The boys are here. The food is, we got cupcakes.
We got a giveaway.
Got some drink specials tonight. Is the Havana Club for you?
Yes.
I figured as much.
The DJ starts about 7. That's when we're going to get this party started.
We're going to hear some Celia Cruz and have a good
They're going
night.
to waiting for the extra innings to
There's
end.
going to be dancing.
Out of respect for extra innings.
There's going to be dancing. There's going to be partying. And, of course, if you come out, you get signed up before 7 o'clock. We've got tickets to give away. Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Too Short. Come out, get signed up. We are giving things away on Rudy's birthday to you. You're the ones getting the gifts.
All you got to do is put your name on the piece of paper and you got to stay here to win. Must be present.
The show's outside.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons.
Got to be.
Yeah, you don't want kids coming home to see their parents after the show and having to explain away. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the crowd. So you got to be here. But we're going to draw it at 7.
Right
7
at
o'clock.
All right,
Round the dot.
6:59 according to Shelter.
All right.
6:59:50.
So who do I have to get to know to get covered parking around here?
Yeah, well, the birthday boy.
Rob, you taught me this. It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for
The
permission.
king of catchphrases.
So I pulled up to the tent. My truck fit underneath it. It's hot. So I parked right underneath the Sports Star tent. I mean, it's my birthday. Why not?
You earned it. I was very impressed with the use of our company materials. That was outstanding. I pulled in and said, this is bright.
There was nothing.
I was hoping there was a sign that said reserve Rudy J birthday.
And I am, mentally a little handicapped.
Right.
Because it is a handicapped parking spot.
I was looking for the one next to it because I was like, I need shaded parking. My car's black.
Dude. Shelton didn't curse me out, so I'm good.
Yet.
Yeah. No, we're having a good time, man. Starting to pick up. Got the giveaway. Pledge address. Rob's here. Lovely Miss Thompson's here. It's a good time.
Ms. J is here as well.
Yes.
Other wives arriving. Food. It's going to be a good night. I'm excited about this evening. We've been looking forward to it for a long time. But I heard you guys talking about it earlier, James.
What?
So the Express News is telling us that now who told the Express News? Is it an unnamed
sources?
Sources say. So what are they saying? They're looking to build a basketball stadium in conjunction with a stadium that would be with the Missions, kind of a. Do we have an idea? Are they telling us?
The story as written Says sources, Spurs are exploring a possible downtown arena to showcase Wemby. Not in Austin, not in San Marcos, not in Helotes, not.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, thank you, Spurs, for telling me that.
Downtown.
Now, there's a couple. Now, I had heard from a lot of sources over the years that the plan, kind of on the back burner that they were playing with, was to use one of the parking lots of the Dome.
Sure.
That they would use one parking lot for the Dome. Now, parking's a whole other issue, but one of the parking lots would be turned into an arena, and we'd figure out where everybody would park later. That doesn't seem to be the case with this. If they're talking about combining it with a baseball area, a baseball stadium, and a kind of a combined park.
They're saying that the combined forces of these two venues will create something which you can equate to Texas Live, which is in between Globe Life and AT&T Stadium, or Xfinity Live up there in Philadelphia, which is showcased around all four major sports team stadiums. So you'd have the Mission Stadium, the Spurs' new facility, and it would be the nucleus of a district with restaurants, bars, and shopping, which absolutely fantastic.
Well, considering the crossbreeding now between the Spurs and the Missions as the new ownership crew that took over includes David and Manu and the like, it's not surprising that the two are working in conjunction. You have to figure that was part of the plan when they bought in.
I would think so.
Now, this goes on the backdrop. It was Monday, I believe, when Commissioner Silver with the NBA spoke about expansion. He said, we're going to add a couple of more teams, and obviously Las Vegas is front and center.
Vegas and Seattle.
And Seattle is front and center. And, I know Nashville has something to say about that, too. And so I do think that when you think about expansion, remember, when you get expansion teams, they pay a market price. So they buy in, and every team takes 1/30 of the buy-in.
Okay.
So what the average NBA team right now going, I'll just throw a number out, say $4 billion.
Sounds
so 4 to 6 in Vegas. that franchise fee should be upwards of 8.
10.
That's going to make. But for a basketball franchise, you figure in the 4 to 5 billion, right? So you got two entities that are going to supply all 30 NBA owners with approximately $8 billion. They'll divide that by 30th. And that money is not counted as anything other than sheer freaking profit. It doesn't have to go toward 51% or 52% go to the players. It is profit for the company. Which seems to me, if you're going to pull in, and it appears if you do the math, about $500 million will be a windfall for the Spurs in the next couple of years.
Makes sense.
And as we look at the process of what it takes to build an arena, 2 years to plan.
How much was the recent Rock facility that they built out of their own
hundreds
pocket?
of millions,
500 million.
Yeah, so I think that they would have a legitimate. They could have, found money, a windfall profit, come and land in their laps just about the time we're talking about building an arena. So I think that the Wemby thing certainly makes some sense, but the fact of the matter is every NBA owner is about to have a windfall of hundreds of millions of dollars as they add these two new teams in the next couple of years.
Absolutely, but I don't think we're talking about this if they drafted,
I completely agree.
Especially not 3 weeks out of or a week out of summer league.
So I agree that the conversation was going to happen. It just it sped the process.
And it's the Wemby effect because let's face it, building this type of facility and saying downtown, this is about generating excess revenue, right?
It is. I recall the last time we went through this 24 years ago, 25 years ago, when we were looking at getting out of the Dome.
2002, 2003.
And trying to, but I'm talking about the planning part of it.
Okay,
when we knew the ATT was not going to work out, we had a title. There was a tidal wave of appreciation, and the Spurs jumped on it. Hey, you love us. We got a ring. Let's build us a new building. And everybody was in on it. Everybody who honked on Commerce was more than willing to pay a little bit extra. We'll find a way to fund your stadium through a tax or whatever it takes. And even with a recent title, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, we loved Avery Johnson. All those guys were here. We still couldn't figure out where to build it and couldn't find a place, and we fought about it. And it took Nelson Wolff and the county to step in and say, well, if you guys are going to screw around and lose the team and lose Tim to Orlando or the team to Nashville or Oklahoma City, or there were some other cities at the time, the county will step in. And they did. They saved the Spurs, and we're going to build it down at a place where no one really wanted it. And it took a couple of years. I think there's another part of this is they don't want to be stuck in the situation they were when Tim was about to decide whether he was going to stay or go.
For Orlando,
when we were playing in this barn of an arena at the Alamo Dome, and they're just trying to keep the prize that is Tim. They got a ring, and this guy's about to leave. We're playing in this vacuous stadium, and we still can't figure it out. I think all those that went through that back then are never going to be put in that situation again. We're never going to have double jeopardy with our best player, Wemby, in 3 years, with a contract expiring, and we're trying to keep him, and then we're trying to find a stadium. I think they're going to jump on board and use this Wemby as a crowbar like Tim was back then. They thought, we will find the financing because we're going to have to kick in some money. I'm not for it, but I know as an entity, as a municipality, San Antonians are going to pay for the stadium, whether it's half of it, whether it's half of it, 3/4 of it, or whatever it might be. But they're going to have to get ahead of it. And I think that this was a very appropriate and timely leak.
Appropriate and timely, and you say like they didn't know where to build the stadium at the time, and there was fighting over where it was going to go. I feel like that's shouldn't be an issue this time because we've seen the blueprint, or Milwaukee or Philadelphia. Like we've seen the blueprint laid out in other cities. Follow the blueprint.
Yeah. I agree. I think right now, as we're all friends, everything's fine. But when it comes down to deciding what neighborhood it goes in, who gets the benefit of the economic development, who owns the land where it goes, suddenly it becomes like the reading of a will. Everybody's family until the will's read and somebody disagrees with it. And I think this is not easy. This is the most difficult thing that Peter J. Holt and the Spurs are going to deal with, above and beyond getting Wemby up to all-star and world class. It is getting the stadium built. It is going to be, because we haven't even brought in the Austin factor. We haven't even brought in the fact that we're expanding our brand, and now you're telling all those new Austin Spurs fans we're going to build a new arena, but it's not going to be any closer. It's, in fact, going to be further from you. We're not going to build it on 35 right off there. We're going downtown, baby. Let's add another 3 miles and some Riverwalk traffic. I think the Austin money might have a little bit to say about that.
Austin money might have something to say about it, but at the same time, I look at the totality of the Spurs, and you look at the future and what the future is going to bring. And the future is going to bring, at least the way it sits right now, a windfall of money to them, especially here. Because of Victor Wembanyama, yes, Austin will travel now because you've got the brightest, shiniest thing in the NBA. And on top of that, having a new stadium alleviates having to leave town for a month.
Oh, there's lots of. You're exactly right. We don't know that. Will the AT&T survive? Will they keep it there?
Wasn't the whole purpose of the AT&T Center for the rodeo and the Spurs conjoined on the?
That's how it was parsed by the county, because the county owned the land that Joe Freeman Coliseum was on. So it was kind of like, we'll build it for the rodeo. But the fact of the matter is, it was a bailout. It was the county and Nelson Wolff bailing out the city powers that be that couldn't get it done.
But if you're building your own stadium, you no longer have to.
Well, it
take that into consideration.
Well, if the county's going to help with funding, they're going to ask for a little bit of the rodeo.
But wouldn't this be the city? Well, if it's downtown,
it depends on the land. It really does.
Okay,
you'd like to think that why would the city, unless the city bought the land, it's going to be the Spurs. You would think would buy the land to build it.
You would think.
Unless there's some sort of entity that takes over and the city builds it and gets some funding like they're getting with the AT&T. We're getting too deep in the woods here. What I'm saying is, it's an appropriate time because the clock is ticking not only to re-sign Wemby, which is kind of like a congressman that gets elected. He's on his election speech 2 years from now. He's got to run again. He's already running. We're already working to keep Wemby. And part of that will be a beautiful new stadium, I think, and everything that goes along with what he is. But we're a long way between now and then. But I will say that the addition of with the Spurs, and you combine the Missions ownership, I think it makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more palatable for San Antonians to go, you know what, I'll pay 0.75% tax for the next 10 years on everything I buy inside the city. And I'll pay a little bit extra for a rental car, everything inside the city. And we'll pay a little bit more on the hotel rooms for all those that are coming in, let them pay for our dome. It'll make it a little bit easier to happen. But it's not going to be easy to convince all of San Antonio to spend a penny on a dollar for the next 10 years to pay for a basketball stadium that a lot of people will not see any benefit from.
He is Rob Thompson. I'm James Pledger. You're listening to Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Dallas Cowboys training camp is just a few weeks away till y'all are in the cool confines of Oxnard, California.
Can't wait.
Well, there's something that happens between now and then. As a matter of fact, Monday at 3 o'clock, that is going to be at least, I think, a major talking point to the future of the Dallas Cowboys outside of this season. Rob and I will get into that next and how important of a decision it is. It's all coming up on Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, it's time to hand out a victory cigar, but you can't hand out a victory cigar without a Swisher Sweet. And it's Franchise Tag Monday. The Tony Pollard gets some guaranteed money, Rob.
I wonder who deserves a Swisher, Tony's agent or Joe with those glasses. We'll talk NBA as well as the Summer League is done. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Friday at Dive Bar, 6422 Babcock, it's live at Dive featuring the Texas Double Shot Band. And Saturday, it's the Crazy High Fest Volleyball Tournament with a $500 grand prize. Coming July 23rd, Dive Bar, a free rides venue.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is. But the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Savings Event is happening right now. With an extra 20% savings, an expanded selection, and in-store designer appearances. Take an extraordinary 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and thousands of engagement ring mountings. Meet the designers who've flown in with all new collections for the summer. The best savings, the best selection, the best value. Don't miss this once-a-year jewelry shopping event. Even open this Sunday. Details, showroom hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Whether you're planning a backyard barbecue, a dinner party, or just looking to unwind after a long day, Texas Cheer Liquor has you covered. Visit Texas Cheer Liquor today and experience the best selection and service in the Lone Star State. Texas Cheer Liquor.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from R&R in the Morning. Join us weekday mornings from 6 to 10. We'll have plenty of sports and all kinds of good fun right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Did it?
Welcome back to Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Of course, you can be a part of the show. Just call or text us at 210-656-ESPN. You can follow the station on all social media platforms at SA Sports Star, or you can subscribe on YouTube.
Do that first.
Yeah, and you can comment along with the show, like Rebecca Gonzalez.
Hi, Becca.
And Rudolph Gonzalez.
Rebecca wakes up with us.
I know she does.
Wakes up early. Well, she's what you call a Tolo. Turn on, leave on all day.
Leave it on.
We appreciate those times.
Rudolph Gonzalez speaking to our dome talk or new stadium talk. He says San Antonio needs his own sphere like in Vegas.
I'm down. Let's build giant down there. We got space. We can put that orb right with that big weird sculpture right there on Commerce, that orange thing that's kind of swirly. Let's put it right there, right in the middle on the river.
As long as you're not interrupting the Alamo, I think everything's fair game.
The Spurs go off again tonight. Are they gonna make the playoffs?
I think they are.
I think
they're
they might.
2-1. Not only do I think they make it, I think they got a solid chance at winning it.
Without Malachi?
Without Malachi. You got Champagny. I think Julian Champagny has been a stark surprise in this summer league.
I think he is everything the Spurs wanted him to be.
When they gave him that 4 years, $12 million.
He has lived up. It's we've had this happen before. Gary Neal showed up at camp and proved that he was worthy and took us to a title, quite frankly. Some of his shooting won us a ring. Jonathan Simmons showed up, paid his way in, made it, and turned himself into an NBA player and made millions. Champagne is the next.
I think so. And do they win it? I wouldn't.
Who cares?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but you've seen development from the people you want to see development from. You saw Malachi Branham averaging over 20 points a game. You seen Blake Wesley take a step, and they added bulk that he added before they shut him down. And you got to see some things from Wemby. And City Sissoko has actually been
He's changing my mind.
He's been a little bit of a pleasant delight.
Yeah, he's changing my mind.
Especially on the defensive side.
I watched him and felt after game one, this dude is rough. You can see the skill set, but it's a long way from being ready. And over the next two games, he has really shown that he's comfortable out there. He's going to spend a lot of time in Austin, but he's going to wear the San Antonio jersey a fair amount.
I think so too. And I really like it. Some other surprises, man. Cam Whitmore, is he about to prove everybody wrong that let
Houston
him go
Rocket
to 20?
fan, let me tell you, you guys are stocked for bear. That team is the fact that Cam Whitmore is playing as well as he is, and I don't even want to talk about how good Jabari looks. I mean, he is exactly the guy they wanted him to be when they drafted him last year. You talk about sanguine, and we haven't even begun to talk backcourt. That is a scary basketball team that will see as much improvement as Utah did, but they're actually going to make the playoffs. Rockets a playoff team.
You think so?
I do. I believe they're a playoff team.
Are there any other surprises that you've taken away from Summer League action so far? Like people that have, oh, man.
Well, I think Scoot Henderson is the real deal, and I think that he, if is probably most likely to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I think
not
he's
Chet.
Well,
Chet's looked pretty good too.
No, Chet has looked very good, and he'll probably get it, but I'm not going to consider him a rookie. Let's say not Rookie of the Year. We'll say that Scoot probably is going to be the best rookie. And I think it's just going to be difficult for Wemby to get there. But I think Scoot was surprising in that he just looked so comfortable immediately. I think Cam Whitmore, of all of them, though, of all of the draft picks, is by far the biggest surprise. And it's not a surprise. He fell prior, but, all year long, we knew that Whitmore was a player. He just had a rough he didn't even have a bad tournament.
People were talking about his, I guess, processing, which led to his fall in the draft.
Yeah, I remember that pre-draft crap. I wonder how the Rockets managed to convince everybody that he didn't know the game. I'll also say Orlando is a little surprising to me, and not in the best way.
Okay.
And watching them play with Anthony Black, but they have Jalen Suggs already, and then they also drafted Tyga Campbell from UCLA who showed up. That's a team of nothing but point guards and 7-footers. That's all it is. It's either 6 feet or 6'7" point guard, or
you're a guy who
7'2".
needs the ball in your hand.
And and they cut Mo Bamba, and the team's total height didn't even decrease. They're still tall. So that's, for me, that's a team that I looked at and go, yeah, you've got a bunch of talent, but I still can't figure out what you're doing.
Know where the talent works on the floor. Like there's such a thing as acquiring talent and then having a team, and that team actually working together.
Far, far away. The Mavs, I think, their draft pick, I forget the kid's name, looks actually appropriate.
Casey Wallace.
Yeah,
Wallace was traded to Oklahoma City. They got the point guard from, was it North Carolina? Duke?
It's not like
regardless.
The kid from Dallas, I think, actually looks pretty appropriate as well. But those are the ones that have stood out to me. But for me, it seems like all I've watched, I've only seen like 4 teams play. They just seem to rotate amongst themselves. There's a lot of teams.
Toronto, Chicago.
Chicago. Are they there? I mean, seriously, has anybody seen Chicago play?
I swear, I've only seen Chicago play.
See, are you watching NBA TV or ESPN?
ESPN.
See, I think I must be landing on NBA. The same 4 teams over and over and over.
I think I'm also
Portland
seeing
scouted.
the same.
I've got Portland and the Rockets scouted. We're good. Hey, we're live at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. It's a birthday party night. Rudy J is celebrating. We're out on Slackers. Nacogdoches. It's the Slackadocious locale. If you've been to Rock the Mics, you know where it is. It's a Havana Club evening, and the DJ sets up here in about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah, the DJ comes on when we go off, so the party is there. And plus, once we go off, we're giving away these tickets. We got tickets you should come get registered for. We've got Snoop Dogg tickets. We got Wiz Khalifa tickets. We got Too Short tickets. Rudy J is the only guy I know who has a birthday party that's giving away presents to other people.
Know. He gives it away. Come take as he gives.
Oh, man. We are here, Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, Nacogdoches location. Joe Beinagel having a good time. Jason Minix, Jack Thompson from the Saturday Morning Hangover. He is going to be with me tomorrow morning. We are both going to enjoy the same type of hangover.
The most appropriately named radio show on the planet tomorrow morning. Be there at 9.
9 to 11. Rebecca Gonzalez on our YouTube stream was wondering if you hit any red lights on the way there. Did you have an issue this morning, Rob?
I lost it a little bit this morning. I was a little fired up. I'd had a can explode in me. We'll talk about that next. The
Dallas Cowboys, the ever-changing running back market, and thoughts as we get prepared to go to Oxnard. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Adam and Eve is not giving you 10% off and not 20% off or even 40%. Your discount is even bigger. AdamandEve.com is giving you a whopping 50% off. But why stop there? In addition to 50% off, you also get 10 free gifts. That includes a racy item for him, a sensuous toy for her, and something we know you'll both enjoy. Ooh. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. And best of all, free shipping, always delivered in discreet packaging. So rethink your bedroom routine. Go to adamandeve.com and enter the station's exclusive code at checkout, free66, and get, you know the discount, 50% off almost any item and 10 tantalizing free gifts. That's free66. Again, free66.
When traveling to see the Longhorns in Austin, make sure you bring along the guys from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Listen anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, joined by Rob Thompson. Jay's birthday. Come out and celebrate. We are at Slackers on Nacogdoches, the Slackadocious location. Get down here and have yourself a good time. The entire Sports Star crew is here.
We all here. We are all here on
Jack
Friday.
Thompson.
Everybody who has a voice on this station is here.
Which
You're the
doesn't
best
happen
dressed.
very often.
No, it really doesn't. Normally, one hand grenade goes off, you lose the whole staff. So we try to keep us separate. Like we have Air Force One and Air Force Two. Like Rudy and I can't travel together, and Jason and Joe can't travel. No, it's fun to get everybody out together. It's been a year since we celebrated Rudy's birthday. Come out and celebrate with us. We got your prize, but you're gonna have to get here fast. The Snoop Dogg Wiz Khalifa Too Short. 28 minutes. 28 minutes. You got to be here to win. Get your name in the bucket, and we're gonna draw it in just a matter of time. Let's talk
And
some
then the
Cowboys.
DJ kicks off. Yeah. Speaking of traveling together,
Monday at 3 local time that's the
franchise tag deadline for teams to come to an extension, or that player will then have to play out the season under the franchise
under the
tag.
$10 million. So we're watching Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and specifically Pollard. Now, I read something yesterday on, I wish I could attribute the source. I think it was heavy.com.
Okay.
That said there were some sources coming out of Frisco that a 3-year deal right at $28 million, a little over 18 guaranteed.
Sounded
Sounded about imminent for Pollard. And when I read that, I thought, I don't know what he's waiting on. Sign this.
It's so incredibly hard because earlier today, I heard an interview that I found absolutely fascinating with Austin Eckler, the San Diego Chargers running back. He was on the Dan Patrick Show a little bit earlier today, and he was talking about the current state of the running back market right now.
You know, we're in a business, and I think both sides are trying to play the game the best they can, and that's what's being played out right in front of our eyes. We have our ownership who is right in charge of our salary caps. They control that portion of it. We control the play, and it's up for us as players to go out there and try to add as much value as we can. However, there's a game to it. There's a game to all of this business. And like I said, they're trying to maximize their dollars to put the best team out there. And we're trying to maximize our play to make sure that we can capitalize and get more dollars. And so there's this balance that has to go on. And, we're in the middle of a point where a bunch of money is getting flooded into other positions, not as much as coming into the running back market. And whether that's able to be justified, you can use different types of facts, whether it is, whether it's not, but that's what is going on in front of me as I see it.
And the running back market is changing. As he mentions, the owners have seen it a certain way. They're playing it a certain way. And they have let the market return down to normal. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if they eventually try and do this with other markets, like the wide receiver or the quarterback market or defensive end or any other market they want to try to bring back into a sense of normalcy. But right now, the only reason this is happening to this market is the plethora of backs that are available to them.
I think there is a saturation of good backs that are available. I do think that. But I also will say what Eckler was saying. Is there is a concerted effort now, and you can feel it. There's a sense around the league that they are going to control the running back market.
Mm-hmm.
That the Raiders blew up the wide receiver market when they signed
Devontae Adams
last year, 2 years ago.
And the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill.
And the rest of the owners looked around and said, you know what, wait a minute. I got Justin Jefferson over here. I've got CeeDee Lamb over here. I've got Cincinnati with 3 wide receivers that are all going to want to get paid. I think every owner went, that's enough. Let's all talk about this. We're not going to say we're going to limit the salary, but we're all winking and looking at each other like, we're not going to do what we did. And the running backs, that is entirely Zeke Elliott's fault. And it's not his fault.
Todd
It's
Gurley.
Jerry Jones.
Todd Gurley, too.
Gurley started it. Jerry Jones signed a terrible contract. Mm-hmm. Gurley got a huge contract and couldn't live up to it due to injury. And owners looked at it, this is an expendable thing. We're just not going to pay you what we were. But this is an artificially low market. I think Josh Jacobs is right. I think Austin Eckler is right.
When you get 6'5" for Miles Sanders, who had 1,400 yards last season, and when he hits free agency, he can get absolutely almost next to nothing.
It feels artificially low, and I get what Eckler's saying because his contract of what he was asking.
Well, yeah, I mean, they basically gave him his contract. He was in the final year of his deal, and then he talked about this too. Like, they gave him some incentives and stuff to boost that final year of his contract. It's not really a restructure. It's not really an extension of any sort. They just kind of front-loaded some money to him from the contract when they redid it. He's still going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He didn't get the security that he was looking for. And he talked about because the Chargers let him go hit the market. And in that instance, he was asked, what did he find when they allowed him to go test the market?
Uh-huh.
What did I find out? I think it kind of shows itself, right? The fact that I am back in the Chargers, we had to come to some type of agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows itself in other forms as well, not just my situation, but running backs or these teams are being really tight when it comes to the running back market right now because there's no one moving. There's no one moving the needle. And so they're all holding strong of like, okay, nope, we don't have to pay these guys. No one else is paying them, so everyone hold. And that's kind of what we got pushback where we have people that are like, hey, yeah, we think he deserves it, but the landscape is what it is right now. So that's just, we're not willing to put that up because that's not what's happening. So it's almost like, it's almost like Twitter where it's like, oh, we're trending to pay these guys. And then everyone else jumps along. Well, the trend right now is not to pay running backs. So everyone's like, okay, well, we don't have to do it either then. And it's whether it's right, wrong, and different, it is what it is.
That's the trend.
So
it's a trend they've set.
To give you an idea of values we're talking about.
Yes.
The franchise mark right now is a little over
$10.1 million.
Austin Eckler was seeking at the minimum what the franchise was. He ended up signing a $6.2 million deal with about some incentives that will work it up to about a little over $8 million. That's all he got. And it ain't a long-term deal either. It's just an extension of what he had. And he'll be back on the market next year. And it doesn't appear that is going to pick up, that the running back market's going to improve any at all.
Well, and the problem is, too, he's going in at 28 to this market. The best he can hope for is a 2-year deal, probably. And that's a lot of the problem is with the position, the way it's used is...
Let's talk about that.
Your best years are your rookie deal.
As far as team size.
You're on the downside of your career by the time your rookie deal is over.
Oh, in the eyes of the ownership. Now ask any 30-year-old running back, and they'll tell you they got plenty of gas left in the tank.
Well, my eyes tell me they don't.
I want you to rank it importance just off the top of your head. The most important guys on the offense. And rank the number one, obviously, is quarterback.
2,
Left tackle.
3, wide receiver.
4.
Probably your center.
All right, 5. Running back.
Yeah, it's got to be running back. Fifth most important part.
Well, we know quarterbacks average about $35 million for the best, $40 million for the best. We know left tackles are right there with you, about $40 million. You go to wide receivers, which you just listed, they're coming in at 30. You go to centers, they're coming in about 25 to 20, the top of the echelon, the top of the line, the type that'll get franchised.
Probably 20, yeah.
And then running back is suddenly only worth 6. You're going to tell me that's an equitable distribution of not only just money, but also of importance. We all know a running back matters. Teams that don't run the ball lose. They're watching games in February. They're not playing.
Unless you're Patrick Mahomes.
Unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But even they have a couple. There is an unacknowledged but obvious bit of collusion going on. They just decided the running backs, that's an expendable quantity, and we're just going to let that go. I think it continues to hang around a little low next year. But as in all the markets, it'll come back, and the wide receiver market will subtract and get smaller as they try to wrestle that high dollar amount down.
But finally, there has to be a resolution, right? You're trying to find a way to fix the market that's broke on both sides. Mm-hmm. And Austin Eckler, once again, he was on the Dan Patrick Show earlier today, was asked about what it's going to take to change that for the running back market.
It's going to take something, right? Whether some guy stands out again, whether it's this year or one of these guys holds out and gets a big contract, but we need that needle to move to push us over the edge. Because here's the deal. Mm-hmm. The salary cap goes up every single year, right? And so you see new highs in every single position. And I'm not saying we've had another Christian cast when I can put a new high. We've had people that have been close for sure. Maybe you could justify that there has been, but there's no one even been close to those contracts. Not even close. And so that's what frustrates me, where you're telling these guys that are still playing at a high level, but you're still not compared to that when it is definitely comparable to some point. So yeah, that's what it's been for me. And so right now, a lot of us are going through this in the running back market. A lot of us started because my class, the 2017, and then these guys just got franchised. Like we're all in the same. Now we're going to be free agents next year. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild how this plays out.
It is going to be wild because they are all going to be free agents together, most likely.
They're all going to break through, and it's going to take a Jerry. It's going to take an owner that takes a personal interest in a certain running back and pays him above market. That's the only way that this is going to change. It's not going to get better anytime soon.
Did you like his answer when he was asked what it will take to change this? And he said, probably someone holding out like Jacobs or Saquon. He didn't throw himself into that mix about holding out and missing money. It was one of the other guys has to do it.
It is amazing.
Because nobody wants to miss money.
No.
Because their window is the shortest window in the NFL.
We will see. Josh Jacobs, I'll be very interested to see if he signs this thing or accepts the franchise tag, because he's been the most vociferous. Saquon has said, look, man, I'm not looking for McCaffrey money, so he's already coming down.
Yeah. But even with Jacobs, look at what they did to him. There's a reason he's a little bit hurt by this.
Should be.
They declined his fifth-year option, and we're going to let him walk. And then he leads the NFL in rushing, and they're like, oh, hold on.
How's that franchise feel?
10.1. So he's got a right to be mad, but the only way that this gets fixed, in my opinion, is one or multiple not caving when being given under market value money.
There's not a running back in the NFL right now, a rookie running back that looks like he's Jonathan Taylor. How far away are we from a big deal for him?
I believe he's next year.
Is he a free agent next year?
I think so.
If it's he's gonna have to be the one to move the market. Yeah, he'll be tagged, but if the market's going to expand, it's going to take a Jonathan Taylor to do it.
I just don't know the running back that's big enough to be able to affect it, because they're all so eminently replaceable, as we've seen. He is Rob Thompson. I am James Pledger. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. We are live for Rudy J's birthday out at Slackers Nacogdoches, the Slackadoches location. You'll see the San Antonio Sports Star tent out front with Rudy J's car parked underneath it with VIP parking. We're going to come back, put a bow on the show, and talk a little bit more about the Cowboys as we get prepared to ride off to Oxnard here in a couple of weeks. We talked a lot about the running back market as a whole, but specifically for Tony Pollard. Will the fact that this is the Cowboys' perceived window be the reason that maybe he gets his extension when the others don't? We'll talk about that more coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Monday on R&R in the morning, it's time to hand out a victory cigar, but you can't hand out a victory cigar without a Swisher Sweet. And it's Franchise Tag Monday. The Tony Pollard gets some guaranteed money, Rob.
I wonder who deserves a Swisher, Tony's agent or Joe with those glasses. We'll talk NBA as well as the Summer League is done. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds offer big, bold flavors like sea salt and cracked black pepper, spicy dill, and Korean barbecue. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein, bacony crunch. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Learn more at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Macy's one-day sale is going on now with deals of the day on the perfect wardrobe updates and home finds, like 40 to 60% off summer styles she'll love, up to 40% off her favorite shoes, handbags, and wallets, and 35 to 70% off bedding and bath featuring hotel collection and more. Plus, get contact-free curbside pickup or pick up in store today. Details at Macys.com/pickup. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
We're here with Jose Rios, attorney at the Gomez Law Firm. If you are injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, Jose, what's the first thing our listeners should do?
The first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
Gomez Law has been protecting the people of our community for almost 50 years. They're the leader in personal injury law.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do carbon monoxide cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries.
But that's not all your firm does, Jose. Tell us a little more about other cases Gomez Law takes on and wins here in Texas.
Really, anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's James Pledger with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and QC Kinetics is helping people every day here and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have agonizing pain. This incredible non-invasive approach helps you take control of your body, relieving the pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and best of all, no downtime. Listen, summertime needs to be about having fun, making memories, whether it's golfing, hiking, skiing, enjoying the outdoors. Take control now and start living life pain-free again. Call now for your free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The number one pick goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
The Spurs select Victor Wembanyama.
I'm a damn Spurs.
Is your home for Wemby Mania.
That's right. That sounds familiar, huh, guys?
Yes, it does.
You still in music?
No, this tells you it's time to move, baby. Vamonos.
Easy E back in the studio making it happen. He knew R&R was on with me on Extra Innings. So
Nice, Easy. Well played.
You know, the thing about it, from now on, whenever you hear that song, Rudy, you're like, it's over.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's time
to go home.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we have an actual song that, like, it's a trigger word.
Yes.
Much like on Fridays, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. You know your week is done.
And we're like 7 minutes away from the weekend.
I know,
we
I
were going to
can't wait to
stay
get-
at Slacker Sports Bar. We are on the Nacogdoches locale, Slackadoches we call it. It's a birthday party night. We're hosting Rudy J's birthday party. You can see it on the front grease board as you walk in. Happy birthday, Rudy J. There are drink specials to be had. We're going to give away Snoop,
Wiz Khalifa,
and
and
Too Short
tickets, and I would say 8 minutes.
You know what's sad? Nick and Shelton can't wait to leave the best party of the year. They can't wait to leave. It's sad. It's really sad.
There were two parties this year that you can mark on a calendar
Which
as
ones?
they were the best of the year.
Which one?
There is this one,
And the room.
and then there was the one at the
This
room where
ain't-
we
this ain't-
landed Wemby.
Let's be
I
clear.
mean, this is close.
Okay, let's be clear.
I didn't say it was.
Okay,
I haven't
let's be
posted
I
the
didn't say
video
it
yet.
took-
It could go viral.
It could.
They could start talking
Only
about
way it's
the
gonna go viral is if Pledge streaks.
There's another
Maybe
couple
down
that
through the quad.
Yeah, but come
we
out
can post out.
Well, as soon as we get off, we're giving away the tickets and the DJ starting and the real party starting. And I'm staying at someone's house 5 minutes away. I'm Ubering over there, and
How many?
I'm staying too.
How many rumples? You
I haven't
put
had
back
any
yet?
rumple. Dude, I can't do rumple anymore.
What?
I'm 46.
Well, when the sun sets, that's all.
Once you get past 45, you don't do rumple. My goal is to get.
So I still have to do rumple.
Yes, you are rumple bound.
I told a certain person to Uber. I don't think he listened because he's only been drinking water.
I'm looking around to see if that's not me. I have a
This
DD.
guy.
I have a designated driver.
This
I
guy.
am going to.
I told him to Uber so he could drink, but no.
So you guys got Saturday morning hangover in the morning.
Oh, you got to do.
What do we expect? We're going to look forward to.
I mean, me and Jack both. We're both going to be in the same state of mind tomorrow morning. Won't be the first time, won't be the last.
That's just look at the show.
It's the name of the show.
We named it what it is. Saturday morning hangover tomorrow morning at 9. I'm sure you guys are going to be looking back at the Spurs tonight as they go in with an opportunity to go into the playoffs. They get this win. I think they're in.
The only thing I'm looking back on tomorrow is Rudy J's birthday and the fact that your son ran with the Bulls and watched bullfights with Boris Diaw.
Epic.
You know, I'm glad my money is having a good time.
I know.
I know that.
While Rob is at.
He is having the most epic time that I could ever have
for those unaware, my son is studying abroad in Spain, and he ran with the Bulls in Pamplona this morning.
He lived your dream.
He did indeed live my Ernest Hemingway. Son also arrives as prove your manhood. The sangre de toro, run from the Bulls, baby, and he went and did it. I'm
And
awfully
then
proud.
was conversing with Boris Diaw after.
And evidently, Boris Diaw was there.
Hope
sure, why not?
Hope they had some French toast.
I hope he thinned up. I hope he wasn't having to run too much. That's a big target.
Well, did you see the accident that happened during the wearing of the Bulls?
I'm glad I didn't.
Well, the gate to the arena was closed, and the Bulls started running up on the gate as the people were like building in the entry to the tunnel.
I'm glad I didn't see that. Yes,
Joe showed it to us yesterday. This was before I knew your son was there.
I'm glad his mother didn't see that either.
Oh, man.
There was no goring. They kind of just jogged up and then stopped.
As far as I know, my son is all in one piece because he's still asking for money. So I think we're all fine. He'll make it home.
Morning over there. He's fine.
He is absolutely fine. Good night, birthday party, baby.
I know. I've got a question for you before we go, though. The Dallas Cowboys. We talked a lot about the running backs. Do you think with the Cowboys that there is a sense of urgency to get the Pollard deal done at least. Now, I'm putting aside Saquon. I'm putting aside.
Absolutely, there is. For
There's
a lot of
a
reasons.
sense of urgency to get it done because.
Why?
You got to sign Dak. You got to sign CD. You got to sign Micah. You need to know where you're standing. And you'll save money.
And it's
you will
not just
save
that,
money.
though. It's not just that. Look at all of the free agents they have coming down the line. Look at the fact that Dak has a $59 million cap hit next year. Look at the fact that they have a projected $8 million in cap space. This is their all-in year, right? This is their window.
They won't say that,
They
but I
won't
believe
see a better window or opportunity than this season. You've got 2, maybe 3 teams that are better than you in that conference, or that you're on equal footing on. That I think
it makes sense for Pollard.
Yes,
it makes sense for Pollard because it's like, okay, I'm never going to get this kind of guaranteed money again. But I'm not a cap guru. But does it make sense for the Cowboys?
At this point, if you're paying market at 10-1 and you can get him for 8,
because this is the thing. Like, why am I going to pay Pollard $9 million a year when Miles Sanders just got 6.3?
Well, that's the problem.
You see,
That's why you have to sign
Austin Eckler has $6 million. Miles Sanders $6 million. Tony Pollard $9.
Would you
it doesn't
rather
make sense.
Would you rather have Miles Sanders or Tony Pollard?
Miles Sanders.
Really?
What?
Okay.
I thought you were kidding.
No.
That's not a serious question.
That is a serious question.
You would rather Pledge.
They're the same guy.
Pledge.
They're
Same
not.
guy. Yeah, they are. And Austin Eckler goes in there
Pledge.
too.
Why would you ask me that?
I'm asking a legitimate question.
You wouldn't ask. You're not seriously comparing Tony Pollard to Miles Sanders.
I am absolutely.
Oh, okay. My bad.
One of them got the franchise tag. The other one, they said, go look at the market.
Guy. They're the same.
How
They're
did the
both
same guy,
very
Rob?
good. They're not the best, but they're certainly capable of giving you a lot, and they're both worth the same. Now, they run differently, but they're the same guy.
But we're talking about $9 million for Tony Pollard,
which is if
in the running back world, $3 million is
you're right.
Everything.
You're right, and that's why we haven't seen that deal because you get the feeling the Cowboys are telling you you're not better than Miles. I'll give you Miles and Eckler.
Right. Come on. Okay. Austin Eckler, Tony Pollard.
Austin Eckler.
All right.
I'm not crazy.
So why am I giving Tony Pollard $8-9 million and Austin Eckler's having to scratch, fight, and claw for incentives?
Because Austin Eckler's been used a lot.
True.
Much like Miles Sanders, both he and Eckler are hurt all the time.
Well, what I said on the Blitz was, Rob, Austin Eckler, you got Kellen Moore. You're not hitting none of your incentives. Checking out of every run known to man.
Or
he ain't hitting any incentive. Not one.
I'm just or devil's advocate.
Is classic.
Or will we find out that Dak was the reason that they weren't running the ball?
There you go.
I'm just asking the question.
That's fair.
Well, we'll have a new
because
OC
we
to
don't
find
know
out.
because we heard about a lot of checkouts.
So Saquon,
20-something.
You think Saquon signs a deal?
No.
You don't think he signs?
I think Saquon really Saquon got to go Emmitt Smith.
Do they actually
sit
hold
out
out
2 games?
Of those 3, who's going to play? Who will be playing week 1? All 3?
I think Josh Jacobs folds.
You think Jacobs will be the
I
one
think
that
Jacobs
folds?
folds because
Pollard
let me
plays.
tell you why Jacobs folds. Pollard's going to play.
Yeah, Pollard's
Jacobs
gonna sign
is going to
whatever,
fold because Saquon gets money elsewhere. Saquon has endorsement deals
money,
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs is like, hey, I went to Alabama. Anybody want me to sell some gum, some Sprite, McDonald's, anything? Saquon sells other things, so he has the ability to sit out.
Good point.
I don't think Josh Jacobs can do that because you got to remember, if you're not on the same page, they find you like 50 to 100 grand a day training camp.
Yeah, I mean you lose a lot of money.
It's a lot of
sitting
money,
out.
man. It's a lot of
Usually you
money.
get it back on the back end when everything finally starts to happen. But we are at Slackers.
The clock's
Nacogdoches, the clock is ticking because it is Rudy J's
Can't believe it's going.
birthday.
Rudy,
baby.
give somebody a present. All right, everybody that signed, that entered to win Snoop Dogg, Too Short, Wiz Khalifa, Rudy.
What are we
time
doing?
to
The
blow out a
man of
candle
honor.
and draw some tickets. As we're live at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, the cupcakes are here. They might not be here when you get
He's too
here,
much
but
of a
Rudy
fan.
will be. Drink specials all night long. DJs juicing up the place. We've got drink specials, and Rudy and the Star Crew are going to be here all evening to come out and see us.
Dude, I was shaped like that cupcake last year.
Look at that.
I hope everybody hears this. Come out to Slackers. It's going to be a good night. And the candle, she is out. Happy birthday, Rudy J.
Rudy J, my man.
Come and celebrate with the man. We're going to be here all night long. Let's give away some tickets.
We're going to give away some tickets here in just a few minutes. Or how
is there time?
1 minute.
Get my name in the bucket.
Hey, give it to me. Give it to me, baby.
Snoop and Wiz and Too Short going to be out at the Germania Amphitheater in just a couple months. And somebody sitting in Slackers right now is going, Rudy, let's draw this.
Here we go. Here we go. Snoop Dogg, Too Short, Wiz Khalifa. Must be present to win.
It must be present to win.
Pair.
Don't forget, tune in to the Saturday Morning Hangover tomorrow with me and Jack Thompson from 9 to 11 right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. But until then, y'all know what the saying is.
Vamonos?
Ladies
no,
and
it's
gentlemen,
not vamonos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Weekend.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That's good!
Your home for Major League Baseball is Sports Center.
One piece of breaking football news from ESPN's Adam Schefter at this hour. I think it was running back Joe Mixon, who had $9.4 million in non-guaranteed base salary for the upcoming season, has agreed to